open up for Q&A. We want to ask the ladies to cover their head. Gentlemen, uncover your head. We're going to stand face rules. We're going to open up. Go ahead, Israel.
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Our Father, which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the power.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
And amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. All right. All righty. All right, we're going to open up. Hold on. I know the questions are just bubbling out here after the nice lesson that was here. Whatever. You can almost expect this. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, you know, we're going to do it in-house before we look and see what's going on online. And I see you, brother. I see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? What's the deal?
Okay. The question is about we just went over it. Do we as the father and the husband of the wife and daughter, do we like listen to the prayers of our wives and daughters every time they pray and make a vow or a bond with God? Are we like have to have the daughters and wives say, I would like to make a vow with the Lord, or are we just walking up on them and then we hear them and then we're like, oh, no, you don't do that? Or are you making sure every time someone said, you tell anybody in the house, if you go on vow or anything, I need to hear it? You understand what I'm saying? Because every time I hear it, it seems like the man walked up on them and they were vowing.
That's exactly what it is.
So
why?
Because walked on them.
Why is it like that? Because your prayer. Let's turn to Matthew chapter 6. Your prayer, each and everyone's individual prayer is really between you and your God. You see, and although they're in your house, you know what I'm saying, they should most, you know, they are governed. You're talking about your children. They're underneath your headship and your cover. But the Lord is telling each and every individual, hey, you got to come into relationship with Him. You know what I mean? And at a certain point, you know, the Lord tells you another place. Well, let's say Matthew 6.
Yes.
About how if somebody offends one of the little ones or the children, the Lord said, some of the little children come unto me, right? And don't prevent them. He said, if somebody offends one of these little children, he said, their angel has the ear of my Father in heaven. See what I'm saying? So you gotta understand. So you know, you're the man, you're the husband, you're the father, and they be praying for you too. Don't you think your children pray for you? You know what I'm saying? But what's going to be their first example? You. That's why when the man is he's the head. He should be leading prayer. He's going to the Father. He's going to the Father for his family. You see? So they're getting the example through you how to pray. You dig what I'm saying? And what if you ain't there? And they need to pray to the Father. They gotta wait for you. You see, they can't get their own prayer closet when they're in their house, asking the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Right. So now when you go to Numbers 30 and you look and you say, well, if they make a vow, or talking about a woman, and being in their father's house, and the father happens to hear it, like he says, like he happens to hear it. It wasn't like he's standing in front of her while she's doing it, you know what I mean?
Right.
He comes by and hears something. So let's look at it. This is how you pray. Matthew chapter 6, and pick it up at verse 1. What is that?
Take heed that ye do not your arms
Alms
before men be to be seen of them.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven.
Go ahead.
Therefore, when thou doest thy alms,
Well, your alms is your charitable deeds, what you're doing for people, right? Go ahead.
do not sound a trumpet before thee.
Hey, look what I'm doing, everybody. I'm giving Chris something. Hey, everybody, I'm doing Chris's car. I'm washing Chris's car, everybody. Just want to let y'all know. Like, why? I'm cutting Chris's grass for him, man. Don't worry. No, keep reading, brother.
Before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men.
Right.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth.
Why? The thing is, you're doing this in secret so that you can be recognized by your Father, just like when you praying. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
That thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly.
All right, keep reading.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets,
For what?
that they may be seen of men.
Uh-huh.
Verily I say unto you, they have their reward.
Well, now, this is how we're supposed to pray. This is everybody. Go ahead.
But thou, when thou prayest, enter into the closet, and when
Into thy closet.
into thy closet,
Uh-huh.
and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
So the Lord already showing you. This is the Lord himself showing you how we should pray. Now, you being the head of your household, you have your family standing in front of you. Who's going to be doing the prayer?
You are.
You are. That's why when we read earlier, let's go over here. You're going to be praying. Because the Lord is going to reward you openly. Go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 14. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. And pick it up at verse 33. What is that?
For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints.
Go ahead.
Let your woman keep silence in the church, for it
In
is
the churches. Why?
in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak.
But what?
But they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church.
So understand what it's saying. Now, is that saying that y'all just around here dumb, deaf, don't say nothing? No, but it's saying it's just for order's sake. If you have a man and a spiritual head, what are you going to the Lord for? You going above what your head has got, and he's right there? No. If y'all are at home, the man is going to lead in prayer. Now, if he ain't there, and you got to pray, obviously you pray to your Father. He already gave you how, whether it be woman and child. He already told you how to go in and pray. Go in your closet and pray. Children got their own room, right? They go in there, and if they want to pray to their father about something for their mom and their dad. Let me show you, because the children got angels with them. And the Lord want to tell you, yo, suffer little children to come unto me. You know what I mean? Let's go here. So I can show you what the Lord said about offenses. Offenses. Yeah, offenses. Matthew chapter 18. Matthew chapter 18. And pick it up at verse 1. We're gonna read into it. Pick it up at verse 1. Go ahead.
At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying,
What?
Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?
Uh-huh.
And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them.
Now peep what Jesus is doing. Got a little child, right? Who the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Bring a little child to you. Meaning that you got to come like a little child. But go ahead.
And he said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become a little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greater in the kingdom of heaven.
So now look at what he said at verse 5 about the little children now specifically. Go ahead.
And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
This is just a little child, right? That's supposed to be in your household, right? Go ahead. That's why you gotta raise up your children in the admonition, fathers. Don't provoke your children to wrath. Raise them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Because they're gonna be praying too. And the Lord hear their prayer too. You know what I mean? Lord, help my dad to get over X, Y, and Z. Help my mom. Lord, help my mother that she can be X, Y, and Z. Though kids got feelings too. You know what I'm saying? And if you raising them up in the nurture of the God, they're gonna be praying for y'all that you can be the best father or the best, husband that you can be. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother. Keep reading. Read 5 again.
And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me.
But here, verse 6.
But whoso shall offend one of these little children, these little ones which believe in me,
What the Lord said?
it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea.
Lord is not playing about how you handle children. He's talking about little children right here. Keep reading.
Can I piggyback on something? What children say when we weren't in the word.
You can land back off. What are you talking
Oh, not
You ain't piggybacking on nothing over here.
Land back on, excuse me.
Yeah, well,
Sorry, I had to turn the break.
yeah, I get you.
So when we were when we were in Sunday school and stuff like that, Sunday churches, and stuff, do you say child as a child we had the same as this child that was like in the word?
Yeah, man, like, what you say? Look, they're being taught wrong, just like he was being taught wrong. You know what I'm saying? Me and you both was in Sunday church.
Right.
We were being taught wrong. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, God winks at things. You dig what I'm saying?
So
And little children, you gotta understand when Lord said, because you forget the law of my God, what's the say? I'm gonna forget about your children too, right?
Right.
Lord have mercy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say about that. He had mercy.
Right.
But now when you know what's going on, you know, look how it applies. You know what I'm saying? Watch how it's applied. Because the Lord was killing kids.
I think about some prayers that I said as a kid, and some of them is like, wow, it actually happened. You know what I mean? Like God, Lord really, you could say, listen to me as a child. I know as a man,
You don't know. You gotta
I'm
understand.
praying, I'm hoping that I would.
God knows intimately the mind of people and of children. And children are innocent, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, they praying something out of their innocency. They don't know good or evil yet. You dig what I'm saying? So what they could be actually saying, you know what I mean? God's the ultimate judge too, brother. You gotta understand it. So you prayed something as a kid, you know what I mean? That as pertaining to you particularly. That kept on to you, so you can find out that, oh man, it is a real God. He is dealing with me all the way back here when I wasn't even, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I thought I was thinking about. That's like for you. So the Lord said he'll have mercy on whom you have mercy, he'll harden on whom you harden. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, that was for you. Now it's pertaining to this right here. This is a person that's dealing with the Lord, that know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Watch what it say. Watch what it say about him. You know what I mean? Because remember, this child is amongst Israelites. So
Right.
guess what? They're being taught up the right way.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So now watch what he say here in verse 5. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone was hanged about his neck and dropped in the depths of the sea. Verse 7 say what?
Woe unto the world because of the offense, for it must needs be that offenses come.
That's right.
But woe to the man by whom the offensive cometh.
Keep reading.
Wherefore, if
Thy hand.
hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire.
Keep reading.
And if thine eyes offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter
into life with one eye, rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hell fire.
All right, well, so watch what's going on. Now get back to these children. Go ahead.
Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
So what that mean? This is the closest verse in the Bible to saying that you have a guardian angel. Bible never gonna come out and say you have a guardian angel, but it's saying the way it's reading, it's like, all right, hey, watch how you treat these little kids, because they're angel. And although I can't read it, but it's like you have angels, just like the devil assigned certain angels to you from the time you was born all the way up. I believe the Lord assigned certain angels to you. Matter of fact, we're just talking about, because it's so innumerable amount of angels that's there. Me and brothers just talking about this, just educated guess and stuff like that. That theoretically, if you lived 100 years, every day is so many angels that you can change an angel every day of your life for 100 years and never circle or never go past the first angel that you came into. That's everybody on the earth, billion people. So many angels. It's innumerable. So if you live 100 years of your life, every day you get a different angel. If you did, you will never circulate that first angel. We just sitting here, we just talking about it. We just talking about that. I mean, we this other brothers sit down and we talking about the deep things of God. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord's telling you right here that, hey, if you offend one of these little ones, talking about a child, it's better for you that you be a millstone be hung around your neck and thrown into the depths of the sea. They're angels. They're going to cry out to their God, and that's what's going to happen. That angel is going to, hey, the Lord going to defend them. You see what I'm saying? How that goes? It says something like that too in Proverbs. Go to Proverbs. It says something about if the fatherless or the widows, if you treat a fatherless child the wrong way, the Lord going to repay you. I don't know exactly what
There's
that
one
says.
about angels in Acts where Peter got free and they thought it was his angel.
Yeah, but he's a child of God, but he's a grown man. You know what I mean? We're just talking about children. You know what I'm saying? And
Those kids was called them bald head.
Bears, the she bear.
talking about Alicia. You know what I mean? Go up now, bald head. Go up.
Yeah, like she bears.
Yeah.
42
but
children.
Yeah, he cursed them in the name of the
Yeah,
Lord.
he cursed them.
And that was children he cursed. You know what I'm saying? But once again,
Ooh.
where's it at? I'm trying to find it in here where. It says something about where the Lord really looks out for the fatherless and the widow. Like if the father, they cry out to me. Maybe it's Leviticus. Hold on. Maybe it's Leviticus. Hold on a second. Leviticus chapter 19. Maybe.
Psalm 68 and 5.
Psalm 68 and 5. Read that.
A father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation.
No, that's actually a good one too, because he is a father to the fatherless. But it's something that says in a point like, if they cry out to me, he'll be a swift avenger. to them, like the fatherless or a widow. If you treat them bad, something to that effect. It is something to that effect. Be careful how you treat the fatherless and the widows among you. All right.
22.
What it say? Where?
Exodus 22 and 22.
What it say?
You should not afflict any widow or fatherless child.
Go ahead.
If you do, mistreat them, God will hear.
There it is. There it is. There it is right there. Exodus 22. See, we got smart. See, we all have the spirit in here. We all learning together. You know what I'm saying? Exodus 22 and verse what?
22.
22. Here it is. We're going to start at 21. Now watch this. Watch this. What it say, Hebrew?
Thou shalt neither vex a stranger nor oppress him, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Go ahead,
Ye
22.
shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child.
Come on.
If thou afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all unto me, I will surely hear their cry.
And what's going to happen?
And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword.
Who else?
And your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless.
Woo! See how God don't play? So you're supposed to look out. You're supposed to do exactly what the Lord is doing. So now, look how the Lord does. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. Deuteronomy chapter 7, is it? Yeah. Let me see. Covenant strangers. No, Deuteronomy chapter 10. Deuteronomy chapter 10. Deuteronomy chapter 10. Because we're supposed to be emulating the Lord. Look what he do. Verse 12. What it say?
And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
To do what, brother?
To keep the commandments of the Lord and the statutes which I command thee this day for thy good.
Verse 17.
For the Lord your God is gods of gods.
Is a God of
Is
gods.
a God of gods, and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a trembling, terrible, which regardeth not persons nor taketh reward.
What else does the Lord do?
He doeth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widows, and loveth the stranger, and giving him food and
Raiment. So what we supposed to do?
Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
All right, that's cool. So you see how the Lord operate in acts? That's how we got to operate in that. He helps the fatherless and the widows. He gives them food and raiment. You're supposed to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they mess around and say something to the Lord, and he'll hear it and mess around and kill the man and make the man's wife a widow and make his children fatherless. And let's see how somebody treat their kids. He ain't gonna be around to know it, but you know, it is what it is. So I hope that helped, brother. Did that help you? I hear you.
Gave me more information than I needed, but I take it all.
Yeah, take all that.
Take that.
No puffing. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. So, we have two people in the truth, but the husband.
Oh, stop. Do we? Is this on? Can you hear it? Can they hear? Can they hear with this? Because people be wanting to hear what's online. You know what I mean? So they can get the questions. So they can hear what's going on. 1 second, sister.
Well, this one. That's right.
So we have two people in the truth, husband and wife, and there's conflict or contention. And so the husband doesn't divorce the wife, she hasn't committed adultery. But he acts in a manner where he removes himself as her covering. Is she covered by the Lord?
Did she follow him?
Did she what?
Follow him.
Follow him where?
Wherever he removed himself to.
So that's not what I'm talking about when I say, remove himself.
What do you mean?
So he, says things like in the lesson we had today, we talked about, saying stuff that is out of pocket and not in alignment with how Jesus, loves his church.
Okay.
So there's a conflict or contention there. So the question is,
It's a contention with
this
who?
person, huh?
With who? With the woman or with
No, the husband has done things to the wife where she cannot live with him at all. Based on what he said and how he has communicated to her his feelings. So in situations, we talked a lot about husbands, don't be bitter towards your wives, but some people can express their bitterness through their words and actions.
why would a person be bitter? Why would a husband be bitter to a wife that's doing everything that he tells her to do? That's just a mean person. That would be just a mean spirited person. You know what I'm saying? Because if a wife is totally obedient to her husband, it should be no reason why he would be bitter. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
So that's clear, right? Like if the wife is doing everything.
Is the wife doing everything she doing?
So say if the wife is not doing everything that he
Mhm.
wants, then what?
Then what happens? You probably get dealt the hand that you wanted. Meaning like this. So I always say this to my wife: don't start none, it won't be none. What I mean by that? So we just do what thus say the Lord, and we get our feelings out of things, and do what the book say. Like for instance, don't the book say, wives? Let's go here for a second. Go. Let's go where we was at before. Go to what's that? Ephesians chapter 5. Because we are not right. We ain't right all the time. Men ain't. Well, everybody. But what the Lord is going to do is hold people accountable for their actions. And we're gonna go to Corinthians, 1 Corinthians 11 too after this too. I'm gonna show you this. But Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 22. What's that say?
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord.
So right off the cuff. Now, is the wife submitting herself to her husband like she would the Lord? If she's not doing that, she's in error. And if she's in error, you know how to say cause and effect, causality. You know what I mean? You're gonna call a wife is gonna cause a whole stream of things, and we ain't saying it's right. We ain't saying, you know what I mean, what we saying is don't start none, it won't be none. You gotta be a person gotta be when you stand before the Lord, you gotta say, I did everything that you commanded me to do, Lord. A wife has to say that. Because when we go back into the Garden of Eden, the Lord gave the directive to the man, and the man is leading his wife. And right there, it said, you're going to be bear children, and your desire is going to be to your husband, and he is going to rule over you. Now, if that's why you should have a husband, or a woman should have a husband that is with the Lord, and choose who you with, because you are following your Lord, just like that. And it's different when you say it in that way instead of saying it's my spouse, because the Bible reads differently. Sarah called Abraham her Lord. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't on no, it ain't no bucking back, and you know what we do, ain't no talking back, well, I want to move this way. Well, me being a helpy, I don't think we should move it that way. And you are all within rights to bring that to your husband. But at the bottom line, if you want to move right and you want to move left, which way you got to go? Which way the woman got to go?
Right.
I'm sorry?
Right?
Okay. You see, no matter how you feel about it, you know what I mean, or no how she got to go right, because the Lord is telling you in verse 22. What does it say, sir?
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband, as unto the Lord.
Why?
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church,
And what?
and is the savior of the body.
So you better hope that you have a man that is totally submitted to the Lord and governed the right way. Because sometimes, well, women marry idiots. So I'm just gonna make it real plain. You know what I mean? Because I don't got time to miss my word. You marry an idiot, and you could be smarter in this whole situation, but nonetheless, it does not negate the position of the man and what God put him in. God put him in that position. He is a man, and then you were born, or women were born of women. It is what it is. You got a problem, take it up with the Lord. Other than that, get on his page. He don't get on our page. God's way is what? Perfect. And he maketh our way perfect when we adhere to his law, statutes, commandments. Where conflict comes into place in a marriage is because somebody is standing out of position. There shouldn't be no conflict. Really, when you start letting when we let things go and be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it your way. There's power in that. It's real power in that. It all fall back on the man. God gonna do what he need to do with the man. You can be like, you gonna be all right. Dang, you know what? I had $1,000. We supposed to pay for this bill. We are out in the cold right now. Who gonna be looking like for rump? This guy. When he gotta look at you every day, and you be like, I told you. Now I'm out here all crazy. Look how you got me in my book. Because it's gonna happen. The book say it is better to be on a what? In the corner of a house. To be with a brawling woman. You don't want it, brother, you better keep the peace in your house, brother. That's why you are the master of your household. You should know how to operate and move to keep the peace. Now, if you have a contentious and a rebellious woman, I feel for you, Shaka Khan. I feel for you. Because that woman should be operating the way the books say. And if you're bucking against your husband, it ain't the husband that's in error, it's you. You can, when you stand before the Lord and say, well, Lord, I did everything that you commanded me to do. I didn't like what my husband was doing. Lord will handle him. But I did everything. You can't stand before the Lord and say, well, Lord, I wanted to do it this way because I see my husband take me down Primrose Lane. You'll be like, what did I tell you to do? Did I tell you to obey your husband? If he ain't telling you something that's outside of keeping the commandments, you better grin, you gotta grin and bear it and get in your prayer closet and pray to your Lord. Be fasting. Lord, can you change my husband, please? Because a woman could actually be smarter in that aspect than the husband just being crazy. So why aren't you in your prayer closet? Turn here. Turn to 1 Peter. Hold your finger here. We're coming right back. Turn to 1 Peter, chapter 3. Let's see how the husband can be won over. The husband, you can catch a bee infinitely more easier with honey than what you do with salt. You can't fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty what? To the pulling down of strongholds. We pray. But you got to be in the right position to do it. 1 Peter chapter 3, pick it up in verse 1. What does it say, Hebrew? What does it say?
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjected to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word.
So look, likewise, ye wives, it's power in submission. Like right there, you already a woman is already showing not only the men, but it's showing them angels that's dying to get into a husband and wife relationship. Because you say, be angry, but sin not. Neither give place to the devil. So now, if man and wife is already barking, then remember, them angels are doing double judgment. Why? Because the angels of the Lord surround and encamp those that fear him to deliver him. So now they can't get in because you got a hedge. You're doing what you're supposed to do with your husband. Now, the other angels, the wicked angels, sit around you like this. I'm just waiting to get in. I'm just waiting to get in. And then when a woman does not submit or do what God said to do, here's an opening. Boom. Now we argue. Now separation is coming. You know what I mean? Because now they all in you. Now they all in your house now. Whispering in your ear, doing all this thing. You know what I mean? Because the angels stepping back. Because somebody's out of position. You see? That's why it's important to do it God's way, not your own way. You sit back down and be like, oh, well, Lord, I'm going to do how you tell me to do. You want me to be quiet? I'm going to be quiet, even though I got to cry. Keep in your prayer closet. Your father knows what's going on. What you sing, because you're the weaker vessel. The woman is the weaker vessel. And if the head is doing something all out of pocket, get like your foremother, Sarah, when she said, my sin be upon thee. The Lord judge between me and you. And if he a man of God, you put God on him, he going to get in order. But you got to be in order. See? Read this. So watch this. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband, that if any husband obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conduct of the wife. Because they're going to behold you being submissive, even to a Nabal, so to speak. It ain't going to be with the yap motion, because you yapping against a man, you can't win. You can't win. You playing with a man. What you doing? You in a submissive position. A woman would never get over with me hollering at me. Just for GP now, I'm going to show you who's bigger. Just because. You think you're a man? Nah. Submit yourself unto God. Ain't that what the book say? The book, that's what you're doing it. Because we're all servants. We're going to show it. Watch this. So that it says, likewise, you are being subject to your own husband, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wife. Why? What is the man doing?
While they behold your chaste conversation.
Your chaste conversation. Coupled with what?
Coupled with fear.
What?
Who's abnormal.
Who's adorning, let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting of the hair, of wearing of gold, of putting on apparel. Don't look the part, be the part. That's what he's saying. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, that is that which is not corruptible. Even the ornament of what?
Excuse me, I'm lost.
Meek and quiet spirit.
A meek and a quiet spirit. A woman that's arguing with a man, that is not meek, and that is not quiet. You see what I'm saying? Like you're like the woman's power is submission.
That is true.
The women's power is submission, because now God can step in.
That is true.
Now God can step in. And if that man is out of order, he's going to take care of it. So now if a man removes himself, it's because the woman's out of order. Ain't like, in order to save myself, I'm going to get up out of here. You see what I'm saying? Otherwise, I'm going to kill you and get or do whatever, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You never know, because you don't know a man's breaking point. We are, listen, men are in battle every day in a world that tells us constantly that we are, first of all, 3/5 of human being, number one. 2, you telling me I can't run my household. Teach my children. My children can call the cops on me right now. I can't even rule in my household. We got a whole bunch of things that's going on here. We go to work and get treated crazily, not really worth our money, but we still got to give our blood, sweat, and tears on this job. To come home to a wife that's going to be all up in my ear? No, sir. No, sir. That house is his dominion. A woman is building his house. You are made for him. You are his helpmeet. He ain't your helpmeet. So you do what he say to do. And if he not doing what thus saith the Lord gonna get him. You better be on your knees. Lord, help, please. Be on your knees. That is your prayer. That is your bread and butter. Prayer. Weapons of warfare not carnal but mighty, to the pulling down of strongholds, bringing into captivity every thought that is disobedient to God. You see what I'm saying?
Why?
Read it. No, 4 says, let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and a quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. Why?
For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in God adored themselves, being in subjection unto their own husband,
Go ahead.
even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, called him Lord, whose daughters ye are,
You're the daughters of Sarah, if what?
as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
So you go back and look and see how your foremothers handle things. You know what I mean? And then you got to do the same. You got to do the same thing. So now likewise, read verse 7.
Likewise, ye husbands dwell with them according to knowledge.
So now the husband got to dwell with the wife according to knowledge. What if you have a wife that's unruly? Won't allow the word to correct her. What is the next thing that a man can do? Is he supposed to stay there? What is a man supposed to do? If you have a wife that's unruly, want to do what she want to do, don't want to obey her husband, what is the man supposed to do? Stay there? Underneath that? I'm asking. What you think? What you think it should be? How you think that's supposed to
He
happen?
has to pray, because as long as the wife doesn't commit adultery, then that's no reason to separate from his wife.
But go ahead.
Didn't you say in the, well, didn't we read, he's supposed to set himself as the example?
He is. He absolutely is. You know what I mean? I give no credence to this. Matter of fact, if a man leave, he still got to pay for whatever he's doing. He got to pay for it. Walk. Go ahead.
So is there such thing that he can provoke, she can provoke him?
Absolutely.
Not be,
Read that. Give that to the sister, please. Read every time y'all see something, just pass the mic so we can hear it. Yes.
is there a way, I mean, is it that she can provoke him to be, I guess, in his feelings of how she's supposed to submit to him, for her not submitting to him? Is there a way she can provoke him to not, for her, what's what I'm trying to figure out here? I hadn't been enough, but could she provoke him to not be what he's supposed to be?
Absolutely. That's why God is the judge. We're gonna read that. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 11 again. But because that's why you can't listen. In this world that we're in, like, people can play games, put masks on, and be like, "Oh, I didn't do anything." God is a judge. God knows. You know what I mean? If you provoke that man, God knows that man provoked that woman. God knows. Well, you know what? Well, I can't leave her legally, but I can just treat her a certain way to where I will force this woman to go out here and be with somebody else. Remember, what one man won't do, a whole nother man will, right? We ain't saying it's right, we ain't saying it's wrong, but let me tell you something. You better do what you need to do with your husband and with your wife. Why? Because Joe Smo will. Floozy Sill will. So guess what? If I have steak at home, I don't need a hot dog. You see what I'm saying? Why ain't everything straight at the house? Why? Because somebody is out of pocket. Somebody is. Because wherever there's contention, what's there? Pride. And if pride is there, who's the king of pride? So now, if we just do what the books say, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. If your husband dealing in pride, who the Lord gonna come check? Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. So now, if you would help me, and you see something going on that could possibly bring damage to your husband's household, and the woman come and say, "Hey, this is how far I go." Listen, honey, I don't think you should move this way. If you decide to go ahead and do it, you did your job. Because you can't make nobody do anything. The Lord, look at how the Lord deal with it, us as a people. We go and the Lord said, go give them warning from me. Whether they hear or whether they forbear. He don't tell us to go and hold their hand and do X, Y, and Z. No. Because everybody has the opportunity, and God gives it to them, and the free will, to go super stupid if they want to. And they don't have no excuse because you got the Bible, he got the Bible, she got the Bible. Don't go and say, how can I know how to do? Why can't you get your own prayer closet and ask the Lord? The Lord said, if any man lacks wisdom, and woman is part of man, right? Ask the Lord, who gives it to him liberally. Lord, how do I handle this situation? 9 times out of 10, women don't do that. Because, let's be honest, women be in their feelings. And my feelings need to be daggone dealt with right now. Right now. No. That's why men are at the head of things. Women, you know, you get on your cycle, do all type of stuff. If you was in a position of authority, you'd be able to push the button 5 times over. Oh man, we did all right. No, we don't keep the men right here. you know I ain't lying. No. Blow up every daggone thing. You know what I mean? No, we gonna be here. Yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's why God has it the way it is. So look what he says. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel, as being heirs together. Heirs together of what? The common goal. What's the common goal? Salvation. If the man removed himself, you got to ask, like, why? People are like, well, why did the man remove himself? You know what I mean? Why would you leave? I was doing everything that you wanted me to do, was you? You know what I mean? Like, whoever was, like, was you? Like, really? Most of the time people don't be listening. Man be real clear about what he want, you know what I mean? We have these all these preconceived notions, like, man, look, you want to eat? No, I want my eggs like this, on the toast like this. I want onions like this. Well, I just thought it'd be better this way. Is that what I said? I just thought I want it this way. You know what I mean? We be trying to go above and beyond. We're like, no, just please. Thank you. Me and my wife had a long argument behind this one time. She was like, well, I thought it's the thought that counts. I said, no, it's not. When we're doing Christmas and stuff like that, it's not the thought that counts. I wanted Air Force Ones. You bought me a knitted sweater with a donkey on it. What is this about? Well, it just looked nice. What you trying to say? I'm a jackass? Well, it's the thought that counts. No, it's not. Anybody can agree with that, yo. Like, if you're looking for something, you want what you want. Don't come to me with and that happened many a Christmas too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, I'm looking for something, and they come and get it. They be so happy, and you look at it like Skittles. Well, that's all I can give you is thought that count. You crazy? Take this and your Skittles. Go back, yo, man. Where is my G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip? It's not the thought that counts, yo. Sorry, it isn't. Listen, we have a problem listening. You know what I'm saying? Really, man. That's why the Lord tell you in another place. It said, what did it say here? Go over here, bro. Go over here, man. Let's go to James. Go to James. James chapter 3. And then we'll be done with this. Because I'm hoping I'm answering your question, you know what I'm saying? Because, all right. Praise the Lord. But we're going to do this one thing right here. I can't say nothing else but what the book tells me to say. When everybody stand in their position, it is what it is. Can't force anything. Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to see what. Because she asked me, well, what if you provoke somebody to do this? We're going to read about that. Because God ain't stupid. You know what I mean?
Did you say 1 Corinthians?
Yeah, it was 1 Corinthians chapter 11. But what I say first now? James. Yeah. Keep your finger at 1 Corinthians. James 3. And pick it up at verse 18. Pick it up at verse 14. What does it say? 3 and 14.
Okay. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth.
Yo, man, listen, why?
This wisdom descended not from above, but in earthly
But
sensual,
is
but
earthly.
is earthly, sensual, devilish.
Why? Verse 16.
For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work.
So if a person's in a relationship where someone has separated themselves, I would assume physically. Is that what we're talking about? Physically separated themselves, or they mentally checked out, like they there and they not there. Is that's your?
I think the mental checkout comes before the physical.
Absolutely.
checkout.
No, but they can still be there. You know what I'm saying?
Both.
So hey, you gotta figure like why? Like is it me? Like books that say you gotta consider, like what happened for it to be that way. I said it earlier in the lesson. Like when you get married, it's all peaches and cream and everything is all happy. But then when the hard times come, are you considering like what made me marry this man, or is the man considering like what made me marry the woman? You know what I'm saying? Are we trying to go back there, or are we just trying to be like, all right, well, it's over. It's not good because God hate putting away, right? So, verse 17 said what?
But the wisdom that is from above is first pure,
What else?
then peaceable,
What else?
gentle,
What else?
and easy to be entreated,
What else?
full of mercy
Uh-huh.
and good fruits,
Uh-huh.
without
Partiality. Uh-huh.
and without hypocrisy.
Go ahead.
And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace.
Yeah, so it's something about peace, man. Something about peace. When you need peace, you'll do whatever you need to do to get it. Even if it's removing yourself. Let me see, from that situation. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, I think it is. Yeah, here it is. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. And pick it up at verse 12. Pick it up at verse 10. What to say? Just read down into it.
And unto the married I command ye, not I,
Yeah,
but
not
the
I.
Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And if she departs, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband.
Uh-huh.
And let not the husband put away his wife,
Mm-hmm.
but to the rest speak I, not the Lord.
Here
If
it
any
is.
brother hath a wife that believeth not, and
All right,
she,
so a wife don't believe, and if the wife is, you started off that they both in the truth, correct? Now, if a wife don't believe, what's gonna show? You can be or say you in the truth, but you can be denying the Lord. How? By not doing what He said. You see? Oh, that's a woman. So or man, either or. Because it's gonna read both of them. So you can be. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny Him, being abominable. You know what I mean? And to, and to every good work, what reprobate. So if a woman is not being submissive to her husband in everything, like the book say, and husband ain't telling her to do anything outside of the law, you're being reprobate to the book. Go ahead, brother.
13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband.
Uh-huh.
Else were your children unclean,
Keep reading.
but now are they holy.
Mm-hmm.
But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such case, but God hath called us to peace.
Yeah, so this is what it's about. Peace. Getting back to peace. You know? Verse 16.
For what knowest thou, O wife, whether thou shalt save thy husband? Or how knowest thou, O man, whether thou shalt save thy wife?
So understand, you gotta understand you don't know what you're gonna do, but stay faithful to God. Because you staying faithful to God. One more place just to show you, because you're a servant to the God. You're a servant to God. And Colossians. You're a servant to God. We read this earlier. In Ephesians and Colossians. And just look how it reads. It's no, just stay in the position that the Lord put you in. What does it say? Colossians chapter 3 and verse 22 to 25. Because if you're doing what you need to do, if a woman is doing what she need to do in the sight of the Lord, you're going to be just fine. The Lord know how to take care of that man if he ain't doing what's right. Read 22 through 25. What does it say?
Servants, obey in all things your master according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God.
Mm-hmm.
And whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men,
Why?
knowing that of the Lord ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance, for ye serve the Lord Christ.
That's ultimately that's who you're serving, the Lord Christ, right? Even by serving your husband. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead. So if the husband's all out of pocket, as long as you're in pocket, you're gonna be straight. If the husband's out of pocket, God gonna get him. Go ahead, keep reading.
But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons.
4:1.
Masters, give unto your servants that which is just and equal,
Go ahead.
knowing that ye also have a master in heaven.
All right, there it is. That's all good. So I hope that helps, sister. You know what I'm saying? Well, you look like you're going in and out. It's all good.
No, it's good.
But I hope that helped. You know what I mean?
It
Hope that helped. Where we at? Anybody else?
is. I got two more.
Oh, please, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted some clarity. You said in the lesson today that the woman is judged by her reverence of her husband,
Yes.
obedience to him, and I thought there was a third thing.
Yes, and obedience, reverence, and honor. What do you say? Submission, reverence, and obedience. That is part of the woman's righteousness. How she submits to her husband, gives him reverence, and be obedient. And the man, and as far as the man is concerned, his righteousness is shown by how he loves and honors his wife, protects her, provide for her, be a covering for her. That's how the man's supposed to be that. You know what I mean? I had said before you were supposed to submit to each other. No. I've said that, but no. The woman's submitting, reverencing, and bringing obedience to her husband. And that's how you are showing the Lord, in fact, that hey, you're down with his program. That's what the whole head wrap is for. That's what the whole head wrap is saying. Even to them angels, that I am down with the program that God has laid down. I'm keeping the order that God put down. Now them angels can't come at you simply on the fact that you wearing that head wrap like that. Whenever the book's being prophesied, whenever you're going to pray, you down with us. Now the angels, they got to sit back and chill. Why? Because it was the woman that was deceived. You know, it's all for a reason. So when you just admitting and submitting to what God got going on, now it's deeper. It's deeper than rap. Because you're doing service as unto the Lord. Everything. All right.
That was
Okay.
I'm good.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. You know, you had another question? I thought you said you had two.
No, because you answered it, when you said, the other part was the husband is a provider, protector, and he's the covering.
Yes, sir.
So I didn't have the covering before.
Absolutely. You know, that shows like you know, you could be in your feelings to say something, or you know, could be actually thinking that something is good when you're making a vow to the Lord. And if the husband come back and be like, "Nah, Lord, don't take that," and what you say could actually really be good, but to show you the power that and authority that the Lord has given to the husband, he could be like, "Nah, Lord, don't accept that." What can you say about that? Are you supposed to go back to your husband and be like, "Well, I really want to do"? Does it matter what you want to do if your husband steps up in your head and say, "No"? According to the book, does it matter? And there it is. I mean, like, you have to submit. Why? Because you're doing service as unto the Lord. And the Lord told the women, submit to your husband as unto the Lord. Like you doing it to me. Well, he ain't acting like you. Do it anyway. I got him. Otherwise, you stepping on God's toes. Or you can do it better than me. Then you be like, all right, have at it. Then you got it. You have your reward. Now you have your reward. So let me finish it and do it. I'm going to do it right. Well, you got it. Now, oh man, I'm walking around my house now for months. We're not talking to each other. You know, he's real choppy with me and everything. Not saying this right, but you know, it wouldn't be that way if maybe the woman was doing what she's supposed to have did. 9 times out of 10, what we do in relationships, man and woman, we be like this. Well, I'll obey God as soon as you obey God. That's the wrong answer. Like, serious? Well, when you do it, listen, I be looking at him like, wow. So you saying I'm not going to? So what you saying is you're not going to obey God? Skip what I'm doing. But you said, well, until you do it, I ain't going to do it. You think that's going to fly with the Lord? He heard you. Let one of us be stupid, not both of us. You know what I'm saying? Let one of us, you know what I mean? Not both of us. God, like, I'm going to get both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, good. Anything else? Anything else? I'm glad how that helped. Anything online?
No.
Thought y'all had some real live questions.
I can't remember the other question.
Say again?
I had a good question. It lasted like the whole hour.
That's all good. You know, we here. We got a building. We here till the sun go down. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you know. Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sister Pam. You know what I mean? She was like, oh, God, Mike again.
I have a question on typing, like hanging tights.
You said,
Typing?
oh, tithing. Okay. I was like, typing? I don't know if you have anything. Yeah, I was like, what?
It's just a texting.
Yeah, like typing, right? Yes, okay. Yes.
But, so, I know like when you get your wages, like from, I guess, a job, right?
Yes.
You pay the 10%. But let's just say someone gives you money. Do you type on that?
Yeah, it's your labor. No, like a gift or whatever.
Yeah, like if somebody's like,
No,
here's
what you work. You work for. You know what I'm saying? What you done labored. What you labor.
only labor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, if you want to give like, you know, like an offering, well, Lord, you done blessed me. Now I'm offering, but you're not required to.
So that's a free will?
Yeah, free will, like a free will offering, right? Yep, exactly.
Okay. And a free will offering is just your free will to,
Free will.
there's no.
No one required it for you, you know what I mean? If you feel like giving the whole thing, hey, thank you, Lord, it's all good. You're not required to give, oh, give me 10% of your free will or 15% of your free will off. No, it's a free will offering.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
All right, thank
Your
you.
tithe is exactly what it is. Tithe means 10. Your 10th, you know what I'm saying? So, that's it. All praise to the Most High. Good. Please. So you was gonna speak into your hand, Gus? That was nice. Okay, go ahead.
So, when you're walking the streets, and you know how part of our walk we should be charitable, right? And
Yes.
so, if we're walking the street and we see an individual, they come up to us. Like, I'm not gonna like when people ask. Most of the time, if I have something, I always give. But sometimes I don't know. You always I found myself, I was in conversation. Some guy called, hey, do you have it? It was just I don't. If I would have went the extra mile, I could have got something for him and probably given to him. But I was just like, nah, I don't got nothing. So meaning,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
me doing that, does that count against me as in my walk? Because I know like we get credit if we do it. Now, if I don't do it, or if the opposite, the opportunity comes for me to carry that out, am I wrong for saying no?
Well, that's why God is the judge. You know what I'm saying? I can't give a definitive answer in that because sometimes the Spirit may lead you to be like it, and then you be like, your Spirit don't lead you to be like it. You know what I mean? Then do you have it to get it? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, if the Lord put it on your heart to go ahead and do it, the book say the Lord love a cheerful giver, right?
I feel that way, like, I feel moved, like, nah, this person, like, no question, no one's watching, it's not, I'll just know, nah, this person. But there's people,
Proverbs
bro,
19.
like, you gotta die, like, nah. Like,
But do you have it?
Huh?
Do you have it?
I won't have cash. There are times I won't have cash on me, you know what I mean?
Okay, but you didn't have it.
Let's say it's in my car, if I walk, I go opposite of what I'm doing.
Right.
I could get it, but now I'm like, man, was that my test? Was the Lord sending,
Yeah, well, the Lord
sending
knows.
this person to me to see, because it could have been all the people, but they walked up to me and I say no. I'm like, am I not considering? Am I so, or is that counting against me?
Let's see.
I feel you on that.
Let's see.
What if it's
Proverbs
the same
chapter
person
19.
that comes to you every single time?
Maybe, what if? Maybe it is for you. But remember, the Lord said the poor is going to be with us what?
I'm sorry. I heard you. I didn't realize what you thought.
He's doing the same thing, about to start talking. I don't understand. What type of spirit is going around here that just make people think they got mics in their hand? I don't know. Hold on. To answer your question.
I want to land back on that. Like,
True indeed.
Let's say this is somebody you usually see,
Mm-hmm.
and you gave them before, but it's like now they feel like every time they see you, you should be giving them something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not speaking into somebody. How do you handle that? Like,
Once again, you know what I mean? But what you say? What the Lord say? Commit your action to the Lord, and your thoughts are going to be established on how you do that. You know what I mean? If you just give to everybody that walking by all the time, you know what I mean? You wipe them some type of way. You know what I mean? Like you're giving up everything.
Yo, let me get $20.
because they always catch me every time I come here.
I'm
Yeah,
coming out
bro,
of a
you
church,
know.
so you think like
The poor are going to be with you always, right?
Yeah, blessing y'all.
But you don't know when the Lord. See, every day's a test.
right.
You know what I mean? Everything you do is a test. So understand, like, watch this, man. Look. Verse 17, Proverbs 19 and 17, what does it say?
19. It says, "He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again."
So, read that again, and read it nice and slow so they can hear it. Here it is.
He that hath pity upon the poor.
See, he that hath pity upon the poor, the Lord is very pitiful, ain't he? You know what I'm saying? And, sometimes you be in the midst of something, and somebody come to you and be like, yo, brother, can I get this, brother? You know what I mean? And you sitting there, I'm like, I'm in the middle of this, bro. It's like, when you being pitiful is exactly what it's saying. All right, here. Let me go do it. And how you do it, too.
So, I'm sorry, that's why my question I know it's not necessarily for the individual, like meaning I don't know what they're gonna do with it, I don't know what they're saying, but meaning the fact that this came to you.
Yep.
The Lord controls everything.
Mm-hmm.
When this person came and asked you.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, I don't know, I consider everything deeper than, the average.
As you should.
So I'm like, sometimes somebody, I'll be driving, I end up at a light, and somebody, they just happen to be next to me to the left.
Right.
Yo, here, like, yo, take that, and then I'm up. But then there's sometimes I'm not in that spirit. Like I'm in conversation, you know, somebody.
Yeah.
And then some person rudely come, yo, you got it. Yo, nah, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's life, yeah.
so, you know, I'm thinking,
Like, is that a sin? I
yeah,
guess.
not
I
only
can't-
is it a sin, but
I
you know,
can't say.
what does it say? Charity.
It does. But you are charitable. But you
no charity. What is it?
charity covers a multitude of
Covers
sins.
a multitude of sins.
Yeah.
So meaning there's a direct
Mr.
effect
Chance.
for me doing that or demonstrating charity. So now I'm trying to think like, is there an opposite effect of me not carrying that out?
Everything. I mean, like, who knows? But my thing is like,
the Lord is
I'm not the judge. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you could have just did. You could have just did 100 acts, and now you all hard on yourself because you didn't do this one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you always giving, so we always is hard on ourselves. But just know that when you lending to the poor, you're lending to the Lord. Plus, the book tells us, be careful to entertain strangers.
Right.
Because some of us that entertain angels are unaware. And an angel comes to you and be like, hey, brother, can you give me something? You don't know if that was an angel or a man.
That's why.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. Everybody thinking angel just all benevolent. Like, he could be on something like, yo, can you give me something, man? You know what I mean? And not even understand that was a holy angel of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But because you was short and cut him, that's why another place in the book it say, it is to answer a matter before you hear the whole thing. It is counted as folly unto you. You see what I'm saying? And a shame, huh? So look here. So he that had pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay again. Like the Lord got you. Read verse 21.
Was that from Proverbs what?
Proverbs 19 and verse 17. Read verse 21. Same chapter.
There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord that shall stand. Desire of the man.
No, that's cool. So you gotta understand, there's many devices in a man's heart. What do you mean? Many thoughts all the time running away. But nevertheless, if you always trying to do what thus say the Lord, you know, you get over yourself. Because remember, we are our own worst enemy. I ain't did enough. You forgot about them 15 acts that you've been doing all week. You dig what I'm saying? You can't pay everybody. You can't even save everybody. You dig what I'm saying? So you know, you do what you can. Yes, sister.
That's why I feel that we are being called from God to give when He say give. And if we are in the Word, I feel if we are in the Word and we're really studying and we're listening to Him when we're supposed to give, who we're supposed to give to, I think that's when we should give. You know,
Absolutely.
when we're out.
Absolutely.
In the outreach of people,
Mm-hmm.
that there are times maybe you're supposed to give, and there's times when you're supposed to say, I don't have it, or, you know what I'm saying, or just not give.
James chapter 2. Absolutely.
You know?
That was so good. I wish they would have heard it on the mic.
Oh.
It was so good. But yeah. Be mindful just to hold the mic up to you. I know you ain't used to, but you know, they be hearing it on it. She's like, no, I don't want nobody to hear what it was. That's all good, but absolutely, that was good stuff, sister. Like, for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can, like, the Lord, we're ambassadors for the Lord here. And if you, like the books, it's better to give than receive, right? It truly is better to give. That means, because if you have to give, that means, Lord bless you.
Yeah.
James chapter 2. What does it say there, brother? James chapter 2, probably verse 17. James chapter 2, verse 14. What does it say? Read verse 13. What do you say?
For he shall have judgment without mercy, that hath showed no mercy, and mercy rejoice against judgment.
So understand, what we're doing is we're trying to show mercy while we're out there. Why? Because we almost certainly need mercy. Right? Amen. Lend to the poor. We're lending to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? If you have a compassionate heart or a charitable heart, remember, it covers a multitude of sins. You know what? That brother, he's real charitable. Even though he did some things that could have offended God, because you're looking after the people. Look what the Lord did with Cornelius. He said because he was good to God's people, giving alms to them all the time, his prayer came up against the Lord. Then the Lord sent an angel to him like, listen, man, I'm going to answer your prayer. Now, but what was he? He first of all, he was good to the people, to God's people first. You see what I'm saying? And he prayed to the Lord. He had a charitable heart. And that's what the Lord said. He had mercy too. You dig what I'm saying? So that's why it says mercy triumphs over judgment, right? Verse 14, let's get to it.
What doeth it profit, my brother, now though a man say he have faith and have not works, can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace.
Depart in peace. You got a whole big jacket on. You got 15 shoes at your house. 12 of them you haven't even worn yet. You see what I'm saying? And a man come up to you naked, have no shoes on. What's the problem? And you got a car sitting outside. You can get into the car, turn your heat on, turn on your coat. What would be wrong with you? And I have done this. Taking your shoes off and giving it to him right then on the spot. Taking your jacket off and give it to him. Take your hat off. You know what I mean? We be coveting. Lord be seeing like the poor is here for a reason. Like to see, let me see how they gonna act. That's why when Israel had their vineyard in their land, they're not even supposed to glean the corners of their vineyard. You're supposed to leave it for the poor and the father. You know what I mean? The people that's that. You know what I'm saying? Because God take care of them. And you ain't even supposed to be feeling some type of way about it either. You dig what I'm saying? Because Lord's seeing how you are. We're developing our mind to be like Christ. You dig what I'm saying? Or like our Father that reigns on the just and the unjust. So what does it say, Hebrew? Verse 14, he says, for what doth it profit, my brother, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, what?
Be ye warm and filled.
You be warm and filled.
Notwithstanding ye give them nothing, those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit?
What does it profit? How can you really say that you're a man or woman of God, and you sitting there eating, you got a 15 bucket of chicken sitting right there, and dude like, I'm hungry. You like, be blessed, brother. God got you.
They gonna call back.
I'm like, yo, Israel Church of Jesus, don't you ever go over there. These people mean, like, you see what I'm saying? You're a representative of the guy, or it's 10 below zero, and you in a Parker. Like I said, you got a car, heat on, you straight, and this brother out there doing a Harlem Shake on you. You know what I mean? Ain't got nothing, and you be like, oh brother, be blessed. You got 5 jackets in your car. You won't even give him one.
Dirty in the car with your snot, man.
I mean, you good, man. Like, nah, God gonna get you for that. You can't possibly be a servant of the Most High. You see your brother or sister destitute out here of what they need, and you gonna say, God bless you. Lord will supply your needs and do all his riches and glory. Be blessed, brother. Can you put some trash right there? Go ahead, then get another piece of chicken. Terrible. No, it's not happening. You can suffer yourself to be defrauded, like the book say. You know what I mean? And if you're paying for the, like the book say, if you lend into the poor, you're actually doing it to God. Else, in Matthew 25, when the Lord is sitting in his glory, what did he say? Let's go there. What did he say? Let's go to Matthew 25. Look what happened. Look how the Lord, how you're going to be repaid for this. Matthew 25, and pick it up at verse 31. All this is, like I said, sisters and brothers, all this is a test for us. All of it. All tests. Go ahead, 31, pick it up.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Mm-hmm.
And before him shall be gathered all nations,
Mm-hmm.
and he shall separate them one from another,
Mm-hmm.
as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats.
Go ahead.
And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, and the goats on his left.
What the goats on the left? Go ahead.
Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand,
That's the sheep. Go ahead.
come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
Look at the first thing you're going to say to him. Why?
For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat.
I was hungry. You gave me meat. What else?
I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink.
What else?
I was a stranger, and ye took me in.
What else?
Naked, and ye clothed me.
What else?
I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
All right. Go ahead.
Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink?
Yeah, all that stuff. When did we see you like this? Skip down to 40. And what did he say? Let's see the answer what the Lord said.
And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, and as much as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
So you see how that goes? So we're being tested all the way around the board. Plus, we said we're in covenant with we're in covenant with the Lord, which means you're on His radar. The world gonna get judged for what they doing, but the Lord, like you say, you about the Lord's business. You done got in covenant with Him. He making sure that angel following you around and saying, "Let me see, is she charitable? You know what I mean? Is he? You know what I mean? Taking care of the fatherless and the widow. You see? Nah, he's very, very selfish. Very selfish. Very dealing with a lot of idolatry. Where the idolatry had? You may not have no Christmas tree in your house, but you got an idol in your mind that's keeping you from doing what thus saith the Lord. That's why He said, flee from idolatry. You see what I'm saying? No matter what it is. Ezekiel chapter 14. These people have put idols in their mind. Should I be inquired of them at all? You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand what's going to keep you. It's another scripture, proverb, that says, there's one that maketh himself rich. No, one that maketh himself poor, but he hold his hand like this. Then there's one that maketh himself rich, but his hand is like this. It's open. You see what I'm saying? Trying to hold on to something that really ain't yours. It's all the word. It's all the Lord. So I hope that helped. All praise to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Yes.
We was reading at First Peter.
First Peter.
Chapter 3.
Hold on.
Yes. Please, Sister Pam, give it to her. Please, please. Thank you.
So we was reading at First Peter chapter 3. And
Yes.
we gave an example of what a bishop is as an overseer.
Uh-huh.
But if we could read, where about
And First Timothy. First Timothy
Yeah, is that what I
chapter
said?
3. You said First Peter.
Oh, I'm
chapter
sorry.
3.
First Timothy chapter 3. I'm looking at Timothy chapter 3.
okay. It's okay.
So you gave an example of a bishop is like an overseer.
Yes, absolutely.
But then when we get down to verse 3, likewise the deacons.
Yes.
Okay, so what is an example of a deacon? 1, and part 2, down in verse 10, it says, let these also first be proved.
Oh,
How
the
do you do
deacons?
that? What does that mean?
How by their works. Well, a deacon is just a lesser position of like an elder in the church. That's all. You know what I mean? It's like a lesser position like that. You know, remember, we're not caught up on lofty titles or anything like that. I'm just
Right.
brother. You know what I
So
mean?
that's
It's
why
like
I wanted to understand.
Yeah.
When you gave the example of a bishop, but not the deacon. I wanted to hear what was.
but it still had. But it's just a helper, like Aaron. Aaron was the high priest. You know what I'm saying? And then who else? Eleazar, Ithamar. You know what I mean? All them. You know what I mean? They're not the high priest, but they're right there in a lesser position, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? That held like a good position in the church. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
They weren't like regular people, but you gotta understand they still gotta keep the same criteria as a bishop, having one wife, not giving to, you know what I mean? Because you know what, they're leaders of people. Like in the book, it tells Moses, you have people that's capable of leading. They could be like deacon, hundreds. People, a person can have a capacity to lead hundreds of people, whereas you have people that can lead 50s and people that can lead 10 people. They would be like the deacons of, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Whereas, you know what I mean, they have a position and it's capable to the grace that God has given them. You know what I mean? So that's all it is. And what qualifies them is exactly what the bishop or the overseers is. Just like with Moses. Can we go there? You want to read with Moses? Well, let's go. I'm sorry.
I want you to break down verse 10 about let these also first be proved. What does that mean? How do they get proved?
By serving the people.
Okay. So they're free and they're bearing?
Yes,
That's what you're being?
upright person, you know what I mean? You got, you're all right, well, hey, we're gonna set, Chris, he's working to become an overseer or a deacon in the church. Well, how is he handling his business? How is his home life? Because when we look here, what goes with verse 10 is, verse 7 says what? Read verse 7.
Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without.
So, you know what I mean? Everywhere I go, you know, his reputation, he's an upstanding man. You see what I'm saying? His children are right. His wife is not no slanderer. She ain't out here crazy. You know what I mean? He's proven. All right, we done proven now he's set to go and be before people now. Because he holds a position of authority in the church. You see what I'm saying?
So that doesn't mean like you've proven a man, like if he's worthy of being a good head, that's different.
Well,
Let's say a single woman is looking to, you know, she's interested in marrying and obtaining a head, right?
hold on, but this is what this is talking about is how to operate in the church of God. You see? So now if you're saying like the woman got to prove her man to see if this is the one that she wants to be with, is that because you know what this is talking about right here, right?
That's why I'm asking for clarity.
All right, that's good. So listen, this is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desires a good work. What is this for? Verse 15. Read verse 15. This is what all this is for.
But if I tarry long, that thou mayest know how thou oughtest to behave thyself in the house of God.
So these are the synagogues, like in the house of God. This is how you need to behave in the house of God. You know what I mean? Because you're going to be amongst, you're leading people. So before you can lead people, let's see, man, look, because what Paul is doing to Timothy right now, he left him in, where's this at? Where did he leave him at? Ephesus. He left them in Ephesus so that he can get pastors and preachers and teachers. So he's appointing men to be like, all right, let them be proven first. Don't set somebody up here so that has not been shown to be faithful in the things that you are teaching him to do. And this is the qualifications for an overseer or a bishop. This is the qualifications for a deacon, which is like just a title for a position of less authority, so to speak, than the bishop. You dig what I'm saying? The bishop is over everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. So now, how he got to act? How does he have to be? It says, a bishop must then be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, good behavior, given the hospitality, you got to be able to teach. Not everybody is able to teach. They want to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying? That's why the book tells you another place you got to wait on your teaching. You got to wait on your ministry. You got to wait on your what is it called? When you go abroad, what is that called? When someone goes abroad and they minister in the Word of God.
Missionary?
It's close. What are they called? Evangelism. Yeah, you gotta wait for you to be the evangelist. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't go, well, I'm ready. That's why I say verse 6 says, not a novice or a beginner, lest being filled with pride he fall into the condemnation of the devil. So you gotta sit back and be able to be studied, be learned, be proficient, and your life got to reflect just that. You can't be up here and be like, yo, I gotta teach you to do right, and you telling the people to do right, and then when you go home, your whole house is in shambles. Ain't nobody listening to you and grabbing you. Plus, Dad, why you ain't here? But you drunk all the daggone time? You know what I mean? Hollering at your wife? That's hypocrisy. You see what I'm saying? So that's all it is. So he's saying, and then not giving the wine, no striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth his own house, having his children in subjection with gravity. Why? And he tells you why. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, this is where he's being proven at, sis. You know what I'm saying? It's been proven that he's able to look before you come here and tell the people of God what to do. We done inspected. He run his house where he conduct his business right. You know what I'm saying? His children are grave. His wife is in straight. You know what I mean? He know how to handle his business. You know, so yeah, he's been proven. You know, that's why I go back here. It says at verse 10, let these also first be proved, then let them use the offices of bishop, being found blameless. Blameless like who? The overseer. You see what I'm saying? Like the overseer. You know, they got to have the same qualifications. But while I was going to go to Exodus, I was going to show you when. Let's go to Exodus, because Moses was he was giving instructions to the people, just he himself and Aaron, and his father-in-law was like, "Yo, what is this you doing? You're gonna run yourself ragged, you know, by doing this." You know what I mean? Let's go to Exodus, and then he gonna instruct them to like do this. This is where the 70 come into play at. Watch this. Like they would be like deacons, you know what I'm saying, in this situation. Because Moses definitely was an overseer. Let me see. We going to Exodus chapter 17. Let me see. Chapter 18. Exodus chapter 18, and we're going to pick it up at verse 13. Exodus chapter 18 and verse 13. And let's see what Moses-in-law, father-in-law say after you see what Moses is doing. Go ahead, brother.
And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from the morning unto the evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening?"
And look what Moses say. Like, who else going to do the job, right? It's given to me. Go ahead.
And Moses said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws."
What did his father-in-law say about that? This is from morning to evening. Like, when does he ain't got no time for nothing. Can the boy use the bathroom and leave? You know what I mean? Like, we got time for his wife and his children. You know, Moses was married, right? When he got time for it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so he gonna wear himself out doing this. So you need help with doing the things of God. So let's see what his father-in-law said. Go ahead.
And Moses his father-in-law said unto him, "The things that thou doest is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Thou wilt surely wear away. Both thou and this people that is with thee.
For what?
For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone."
Now see how this is. Now this is good counsel right here. Even though this is Moses' father-in-law, a priest of Midian. You know what I'm saying? He's still giving Moses counsel right here. See, that's why I said without counsel, you know, what it say? Without counsel, something becomes disappointments, like intentions or whatever become disappointments. You gotta have some good counsel. So now, what do he say now? How we going to remedy this situation? Verse 19.
19. Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee.
Mm-hmm.
Be thou for the people to Godward.
Mm-hmm. Be for the people according to God, right? Go ahead. That what?
That thou mayest bring the causes unto God.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt teach them ordinance and laws, and shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do.
Come on.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men.
So that's what Timothy's doing now. He's going to look for able men. That's what?
Such as fear God.
What
men
else?
Of the truth.
Men of truth.
Men of truth, hating
covetousness,
and places such over them to be rulers of thousands.
But now look. Some people have the capacity to rule thousands. Lord has given them that, right? What else?
And rulers of hundreds. Rulers of 50. And rulers of 10.
So they're saying some people only have the capacity to rule like 10 people, but they've been proven first. They're looking at, they fearing God, they keep the commandments, they're making sure their households, most got to make sure their household is right too. It still applies. You see what I'm saying back here, because they're gonna learn that they have a good report first. That's why you say, moreover thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, and such as fear God. Men of truth. And how is that going to be displayed? He's gonna go look and see how the men. What's the report of the people that's around him? You know what I mean? That's around him. How's his household looking? How's his wife acting? How's his children? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, are they teaching? Because you teach at home first. Remember, we're all kings and priests. The men are supposed to be teaching what thus saith the Lord, bringing up their children in the admonition of the Most High God. See? So that's how that happens there. You know what I'm saying? The big stuff they give to Moses, and then the little things the other able men are able to do. So that goes right back to the book. That goes back to Torah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Timothy is doing. Well, what Paul had Timothy doing in Ephesus. How a man should conduct themselves in the church. Now, when a woman getting ready to marry a man is on a whole nother note. You know what I mean? One, because we are so, Lord have mercy. We are so out of what thus saith the Lord. When we come up, we looking for boyfriends. Women are looking for boyfriends, not husbands. First, you know what I'm saying? Whereas a child of the Most High, like if we raise them up the way the Lord say, I guarantee your daughter's looking for a husband now, not no boyfriend or girlfriend.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you're raising them up to become wives. You know what I'm saying? To keep at home, to be obedient. We wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? When we was brought up. My uncle told me, hey, boy, go sow your oats. Now I'm ruining women, you know what I mean? That's would possibly be somebody's wife. She's not a virgin, yeah, and that's a whole nother thing. Like we are so far out of mark. A woman is, when she get married, the first and last person she need to be with is her husband. You see what I'm saying? And if he dies before that, the next person she's gonna be with should be her husband. You know what I'm saying? And that should be the last person she be with. We didn't, we just so far off the mark. So, this is what we had to do. So, I hope that helps us.
Yes.
It's clear. All praises to the Most.
So can I lay back that?
You absolutely can. Go ahead.
So you just,
Yeah, please, the mic, please.
So you just brought up the daughters, right?
Yes.
So, there's no dating.
I'm sorry.
There's no dating.
Please.
There's no courting. There's no dating.
When
There's no courting.
Yeah, when you hear yourself, you go. There's no dating. There is no courting.
So, how does a young woman, a maiden, find a husband? Like,
Where's her dad at? Once again.
let's say no dad is in the picture. Dad's not in the truth. Dad's, living his life.
Okay. Living his best life. So what is the next step for a woman? She better get with a man that is dealing with the Lord. And mind you, she ain't going out there, wait. She's preserving herself. Because the book tells us what? Let's see what the book says. Don't the book say, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing? It don't say a woman that findeth a husband. So she should be carrying herself in a way to where, guess what? The Lord driving men. The preparation of the heart and man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Number one. A man commit thy works unto the Lord, and his thoughts is going to be established. So when it's time for a man to get a wife, the wife is already going to be prepped to be a wife. So you got to be a wife already before you get into the relationship, right? You got to be wife ready. And she got to be looking for a man that is honoring God. You see? So it's going to be a certain way that she's going to be carrying herself so that when that man comes through, it's going to be like a match made in heaven, so to speak. So what does she do? She don't have no father because a woman, she has her own money. She's already independent, you know what I mean? She got into the truth. All right, boom. Now she got to carry herself in such a way to where when the man comes and finds her, and she's choosing. So you better choose the right man, because know that when you lay down with this man, hey, the way the book go, he got to surely do what he need to do to make you his wife. You see? So a woman should be, in these days of time, without no father to as her cover, and she there, she better choose right. She better choose right.
how do they get to know each other in a righteous manner? What does that look like?
What does that look like?
Do they only see each other on the Sabbath when they come to church? How do they get to know each
Oh
other?
man, what is his intentions? Let's see. Because what do you mean it's no dating? I mean, who told you it was no dating?
I ain't see nobody in the scripture dating.
Yeah, because they had fathers too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
You see what I'm saying? See, with that dynamic, you know, when you remove a certain dynamic, now it's like, okay, well, how do they? Because they had arranged marriages. You see what I'm saying? And when they was coming up, you know, they had somebody, the mother and everything, to teach them, hey, you working to do this like this. For instance, I'm doing too much talking. We're gonna get to it. Let's see. Go to Titus. I think it's Titus. Go to Titus real fast. Let's go to Titus. So you ain't got no father. But what about the aged woman that's around you? Let's see how we do this. Titus. Timothy. Titus chapter 2. Titus chapter 2. And pick it up at verse 3. What does it say?
The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things.
That what? Now this is the aged women, right? So let's say the man ain't even around. You know what I mean? So now what about the aged women that's in the community that this young lady or maiden can look at to get guidance, to get, you know what I mean, how to go. You should be somebody aged around. That's this is how you're supposed to do this thing. And if you're in the truth, you know what I'm saying, and you are that aged person, then you got to guide her to where how it's supposed to be, according to the book, right? So it says that they may teach the young women to be what? Sober. What else?
That they might teach women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste keepers at home, good obedience to their own husbands, that the word of God be not laid
Blasphemy. So you see what has to happen here? You know what I mean? So that now when a man, let's go to Proverbs, and she's holding herself in a very high esteem now. You know what I mean? So now, well, we dating. If you're going to date, like I said, well, she don't have no one to say nay. You know what I'm saying? Like who's telling the woman nay? It ain't her father. She on her own. Like, all right, well now you have to learn how to hold your facilities together when you do go out with a suitor or a soon-to-be husband. Because if you slip up, what do they slip up? Well, you know, put the cart before the horse. What's supposed to happen now?
We gotta get married.
So, you know, I guess the courting period was real short-lived, right? It's right down.
Yes.
It's down to nitty-gritty now. You're going to learn as you go. You're going to learn today. You're going to learn today how to go about it for the rest of your life. So now look at this. Let's go to That's why you're teaching them what to do. So if this happens to come up, you know what I mean? You get, hey, no. What's your intentions behind this? You know, if you're courting, what's your intention? I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a husband. I'm looking to build something with you. Know what I mean? I'm looking to build your house. You know, if a woman start talking to a man like, I'm looking to build your house. You know what I mean? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole different dynamic. What people talking about today? Like, I need to get my stuff. What you gonna get from me? Hey, I know he used to do something for you, but what has he done for you lately? Like, nah. You start talking. A woman start telling man, listen, I'm trying to be your wife. I'm trying to be your everything. I want you to be my Lord. I'm trying to build your house. A brother gonna be like, let's go. A real one. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. So look, 20. So watch this. Look, Proverbs 14. Pick it up at verse 1. What does it say?
That's my favorite. Yeah.
Proverbs 14 and 1.
Build that house, sister.
Yeah, you're right. Right, it says Proverbs 14 and 1. What does that say there?
Every wise woman buildeth her house,
Mm-hmm.
but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. Her hands.
That's it. So every wise woman buildeth her house. You see what I'm saying? And when she know that she's a help meet for the man, hey, she building that man's house. And gonna make that thing right. She ain't gonna pluck it down with her hands. You know what I'm saying? She gonna make that thing comfortable for the husband when he come back in. It's gonna be real good, you know. But if you're unwise, you're gonna pluck that thing down. Go to Proverbs 18 and verse 22. Right? She's looking for a husband in this fact. She's preparing herself for her husband that's coming to look for her. You know what I'm saying? So look, 18 and 22. What it say?
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord.
Look at here. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. Skip on over here to 19 and where was it at? Oh, 19 and 14, what it says.
House and riches are the inheritance of fathers,
And what?
and prudent wives is from the Lord.
Look at there. Houses and riches are inheritance of father, and a prudent wife is of the Lord. So if he's going out looking for a wife, remember when Isaac sent his servant out? He said, go to my kindred, go to my family, go to my house. You know what I'm saying?
Abram.
Abram, yeah, I'm sorry, Abram. Yeah, Abram did it. He said, go to my household, go to my family, get this wife. The servant was like, okay. He went and prayed like, how am I going to know what woman to get? And what did he do? He prayed to the Lord. He prayed to the Lord and said, yeah, when this woman come and do this, how am I going to know? And before he could even finish his prayer, what happened? The prudent wife was from who? The Lord. See how that go? Just like that. You know what I mean? So if the aged women or the elder women is guiding that young woman on what to do, you know, because she has no covering, so to speak, and she's her own woman, she already out there in her father's house and everything. Hey, you teach them what to do, how to be. Yeah, you ain't gonna go over there, you got set of standards. You know what I mean? If that man, you know, decides to be with that woman, hey, he gotta pay to play. You know, where we gonna live at? Have that woman ask him, where are we living? How are we gonna take care of me? You know what I'm saying? Oh, are we in your mother's house? The book say, for this cause man should leave father and mother. But you see what I'm saying? Like you point it in the direction to where she can have good counsel when she talking to this man. You know what I'm saying? That's my answer. You know what I mean? That's how I would answer that. You know what I mean? When you don't have no father. Understood? I mean, that's that.
Thank you.
All right, all praise to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Yeah. I mean, it's bad these days, you know. It is what it is. I mean, all right. Well, no one else has anything? You know, we can get ready to close out. I'd like to thank y'all for your time. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for everything. I pray everybody was edified. We're going to stand and going once, going twice. It's over. Stand and face your fruit when we are.
Our Father which art in heaven,
Our Father which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done,
thy will be done,
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever
forever
and ever.
and ever.
Amen. In
In
Jesus' name.
Jesus' name, amen. You said you added ever, just forgot
I read ever twice. So like,
Why would you say it like that? It was different, wasn't it?
I'm sorry.
All right. You already know. You already know. I'm like, what? So look, y'all can move up, right?